Hey guys, back. Episode 209, March the 12th, 2024. I'm Bryant Dunnigan back in Rock Life Studios. Dan Carter, our favorite co-host, is with us. What's up, Dan?
What's up?
So, we talked about getting the new buggy. We're going to do a little update on that. I've had it, not even really talked to you about it a whole lot.
Right.
But we are making progress on the new rig. We've got her plumbed and wired today. Spark plug wires come in, got them put back on. Got half the skid plate on. Let's see what else. Got our new exhaust on.
Wait. Got the harnesses ordered today.
Yeah, you got me some harnesses coming this way. I'm waiting on a bolt kit. As soon as it comes in, it'll be should be drivable. So hopefully that thing won't be too far out. Listen, trying to bend a flat sheet of that HDPE we're using for the skid plate. I'd never done that, and that can be tricky.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Well, it wouldn't be too bad if you had a brake, but trying to heat it with a torch and not melt it,
Yeah.
and trying to set the buggy down on jacks and concrete blocks and whatever else you could to get it to form up around the sides. That took some trial and error today. But we got 3/4 of it on. Hopefully we'll get it finished tomorrow. And then, man, it's going to be, if I can get my shit in gear, it'll be waiting on bolts tomorrow to finish everything out. So it's coming along nice. We should have it at Wildcat. We're not racing it, guys, so don't ask. We're just going to get it, let Dan drive it, get a feel for it, see if there's anything you want to change, make sure nothing's in the way. Because the last buggy, my red buggy, there was wires in that thing everywhere.
Right.
We're trying to cut all that out. We're shortening harnesses up. Everything only fits exactly where it needs to fit. So there's not going to be a bunch of excess stuff, but I still want to make sure that nothing is in, like with the wires running down the side. When you go to reach the shifter, I want to make sure that you're not grabbing stuff you don't need to be grabbing. Get used to see if you like where the switches are. I mean, just little stuff like that. Stuff you don't think about. I want to make sure all that's right and comfortable. Make sure, because listen, we're full blown. There'll be a few things that I'll change probably when we get it powder coated and put back together. There's not a lot. Like it's going to be, and when I say a few things, I mean just maybe this wire is crossing this wire in the wrong place, and I want them to line up just right. I'm getting nitpicky with this one, so it's going to start off nice.
Oh yeah.
That's the only bad part about me and you being so far apart on this deal. I'm trying to do my end of it now, because when I ship it off to you, good luck. That's all you.
Right. Our goal then is just to get as much sick time in as possible.
Yeah, and that's I'm hoping if you all can get to Wildcat a little early, I'm hoping we get time to ride it around, play on some of the hills. It's still got the broke motor in it.
Right.
So we can't get too rowdy. But you'll be able to drive it enough to tell, I feel like, what's going on, and make sure everything's kosher. Moving on from the buggy, we talked about finals possibly moving from Mid-America to Windrock.
Right.
I reached out to Clyde this week to get an official statement, and it was, I quote, "It's not decided yet." That's not a yes, not a no. So that makes me happy.
Right.
So we know officially it is in discussion. Mid America dropped. They had their own MAO race series. That's gone. Ultra 4 is gone. Everything that Mid America had to do with racing is gone. They are going to have racing there. JT Taylor, who used to run more or less the MAO, has his Heartland series. They're going to be running the previously scheduled events at Mid America. I think there were 5 races. But outside of that, I don't know. Sounds like Jason's washing his hands.
Yeah, I get that. That's how, like, from picking up on stuff, that's my thoughts and my feelings. I'm still kind of on the fence as whether we will do uh finals at Mid America. I would prefer them be at Windrock just because it's a lot closer to 90% of the racers, and even the ones that are closer to Mid America seem like they were more apt to come back to Windrock rather than having to go to Mid America. So I think it's just I don't know if it's the courses, the park, whatever. But I definitely feel like the ball is in Jason's court right now. And I think he's just trying to decide because we've still got quite a few months before we go to finals. But I would say if we do go this year, I would definitely say probably next year will be a wash for that.
Yeah, I don't see that park. I don't know. With the way he's washing his hands of things, I don't see that park even opening its doors next year.
Right.
He's got so much invested in it, it's going to be hard for him to just walk away. But at some point, if it's not making money, it don't make sense. And how much more money can he hemorrhage towards that? At the pace that he has been going, and at the pace it's going to require for upkeep there now.
Right.
I mean, he's got the daggone. I don't know. Maybe he moves his family in there and they have their own little playground.
Yeah.
But
It,
I couldn't
it,
imagine what it costs just to keep up the pool.
right. Well, that's something I was fixing to say. It would almost be like somebody being gifted uh, like a theme park and then saying, okay, you can have the theme park, but to open it, you've got to have all this overhead. Like, where would you get that from? In which, we know that, um, hearsay, there's all kind of different things going on, whether he's closing the park, opening the park. Like, to get back to what you're saying, I mean, just you got to think about the grass that has to be cut. Like you said, the pool, all that's going to require a whole lot of help, a whole lot of money.
The full time
It's
staff.
definitely going to be interesting to see what goes on with that place.
Yeah, it never really made sense to me because it was only ever open for events. So it wasn't open every weekend.
Right.
And the full time staff it takes to keep that place in the shape it's in. I mean, I don't know how many people work out there, but I'm sure it's more than one or two.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any insider knowledge. I just know that when I first heard what he was doing and the way he was going about it and spending money, where it was happening at, I always had my doubts about it. Then he got into Ultra 4, and I was like, I don't know about this either. That lasted a couple years. They had some good payouts and things like that, but I don't know. I hope that's not the case for the people out there that do like that park. It is a nice park. It has lots of amenities. But listen, we can go race anywhere. I'm speaking just for us now. We can go
Right.
race anywhere. We don't need that.
Right.
Is it a nice luxury once in a blue moon? Sure. but we don't need that. I want to go to off-road parks.
Right.
I don't know. Never was a fan. Probably never will be a fan. I hate it for the locals out there, the people who like going, but I would hurt my feelings a bit if we never went back. So let's hope that the rumors are true and we're going to Windrock for finals. I'm just going to change it on my schedule because if it's at Mid-America, I ain't going no damn ways. So I'm just going to pencil it out and put Windrock for me.
Hey.
Gosh. Moving on from that, I do have one little topic that me and Dan were talking before the show. I feel like we kind of harp on this, or I do. We kind of harp on this often. I know we talked about it a couple times last year. I don't think we've talked about it this year. But we want to talk a little bit about sponsorships, marketing, things like that. It's a little different take, I think, than what maybe we've had before or what I've had before. But I did notice some stuff at Windrock, and I noticed some stuff seeing some pictures from Outlaw. Let me start by saying this. We see a lot of guys, or I hear a lot of guys that are like, we can't get no sponsors. We can't do this. We can't do that. And then, like I noticed at Windrock, okay, we'll go stock class. In the UTV stock class, how many side-by-sides had logos on them?
Yeah, there were very few.
Yours was the only one there wrapped that I can remember. And guys, I know I'm the one that done that, and I'm harping on it because that's what race cars are supposed to look like.
Right. I mean, it looks like a race car. I mean, it looks jam up.
Well, go to Hammers.
Right.
How many of those guys are out there with no logos? Zero.
Right.
You know, they're all out there trying to market something. So let's go stock class, 0 cars, pretty much wrapped. Very few with logos on them. I'll take responsibility for Braden's because I was supposed to make him some stickers and I didn't. Run out of time. But outside of you and him, I didn't see a whole lot. UTV Cup class. How many of them had logos on them? 2, 3.
Yeah, there were just a handful out of. I think weren't there like 20 cars there, and I would say probably 3 or less.
Well, you had Casey Howell had some logos on his. Clay's buggy's wrapped.
You got Timmy's new chassis buggies.
Timmy's
wrapped, but you really can't see a whole lot on it.
So that's another discussion. It's there, but you can't see it. So does it count? I don't know. Maybe not. It's just not. We can't fuss about not getting sponsors if we don't represent the ones that you have. You know, I personally know of about 5 guys that I have helped out, and I'm not. This is not about me right now, but I know of at least 5 guys I've helped out with stuff in the last year, and nobody's offered to throw a sticker or nothing on their cars. 1 or 2 maybe. And then I've had guys that call me and they're like, hey, get me this, get me that. And they've got stickers of somebody else's stuff on their car. But I don't care. For me, that it's not sponsorship deals. For me, I'm helping friends.
Right.
I'm helping the guys in the series, and I expect 0 back. But there are, I don't know, guys. We've got to And I'm not saying every car has to come out and look like a daggone NASCAR car with, logos and stuff all over it. But I feel like there needs to be more effort put in from the drivers and teams side to try and make these cars look more professional. I don't know. Because, listen, it's there. Me and you talked about this a little bit a minute ago. Cooper Bentley
Right.
is running the new Maxxis Carnivore RT tire.
Right.
He made a post about, listen, that tire's been out for a hot minute. Probably, I want to say close to a year.
Right.
Somewhere between 8 months and a year. It's been out. I couldn't give them away at the store. Nobody wanted them. Cooper made that post showing his new tires that he's running. I had 5 calls for him last week.
Yeah.
So it is there.
Right.
The value is there for these companies to come in. We need more posts. We need more visibility like the post from Cooper. When you get these posts that, oh, we had a race weekend, done this, done that, da, 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 and then you just tag a bunch of sponsors, that does nothing.
Right.
Nothing. Not at all. We need more engagement that way to drive more sponsors to us. Because, listen, if Maxxis don't pick him up, that's their own fault.
Right.
That's their own fault. Because he done more for that tire just by getting it out there and getting it seen in one post than anybody's done for it in 6 months.
Right.
And I know that for a fact. So, like, the value is there. There is marketability with our guys. But we've got to get out of that mindset of just tagging all these companies. And I'm not saying, and I'm also, sorry, I'm ranting. I'm also not saying that we need to do this. This is something that has to be done every day.
Right. Right.
Pick 1 week or something and
Yeah. And two, what I've seen is, and I don't know, I don't sponsor, like, I'm not in your shoes, but if I were a shop owner and I helped whoever out, a personalized post to me would mean more to me and my business than it would you going and racing. You could get on a podium, you may come in last, but for you to just take a picture of your buggy and name the 3 companies that help you out, yeah, I'm glad to help you, but that's not helping me. Like, I don't know. That's just me, though. I mean, I feel like I've always told anybody that helps me out, I want to be worthy of your investment. So I want to go above and beyond. So, some of these guys just doing, well, thanks to so and 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 so for helping me out this weekend. We came in 4th.
yeah. And see, that's okay. All you guys, everybody that we have, I'm going down a rabbit hole here, and this is for the people who are like legit national rock racing drivers, crew members, team owners, promoters, sponsors, whatever. Some of y'all are going to laugh at me when I say this, and this was Dan actually mentioned it, and it makes a ton of sense. We need more Matt Holtz.
Yeah.
We do. When Matt shows up to the racetrack, yeah, he's a little goofy. But he presents himself very professionally for the most part. He shows up, and that turd of a rock bouncer he has is clean. It looks good. It may not run 5 feet, but he gets out there and does everything as professional as he can. He's got his sponsors represented on his buggy. Windrock, he he didn't make. I don't think he made it 10 feet. He had 6 neutrals. He come back. He makes a big post. Race recap, makes a shitty day sound like a brick of gold.
Right. Yeah.
And he just loves life and loves getting to do it. And Matt has more sponsors than most of you guys listening. And you all will laugh at him and we'll poke fun at him because he goes slow sometimes and he has a hard time. But he's doing the best he can and he's representing people.
Right.
It's not about...
Yeah, and he's one of the few that I've seen that does individual posts for his sponsors. Like he may do like a race recap, but he was picked up by Warren Winch years ago. But he may do and it's nothing real big, but it may be like that Warren Winch sure come in handy this weekend when we had to load the buggy on the trailer due to a parts failure.
Yeah.
That, and just hey, Warren, here's your post. It's letting you know that I'm appreciative of your sponsorship or your investment. Here is your product in use. I'm hoping that it's worthy enough for you to ask me if I can, donate this photo for you to use in your advertisement on down the road.
And see, it's second nature to him.
Right.
And he does really well with it. I mean, the dude, somehow or another, he ended up with a $3,000 set of brand new tires on a rock bouncer that can't spin them. Why? Because he presents himself professionally. He shows up to the racetrack. His shit is clean. You can see his sponsors' logos. And he makes sure to take care of his sponsors.
Right.
We need some more of that. If we had a little more of that, it would go a long way. And not just helping yourself. It would help the series as a whole.
Right.
The more eyes, the more different companies we get in, the better we are. And I just think there's so many things that we could do so much better. And like us, and I'm not, we don't win every week. We have we've been lucky enough, or you've got on the boxes a few times in the last few years. But we don't win every week. But we have really good sponsors. And we really try and make it a point to take care of them the best we can. We try to present ourselves as professional. Listen, guys, I'm a big as goofball as anybody around. When I get to the racetrack, I like to have fun. I like to drink a few beers and cut up. But, especially the last couple years, we've made it a point to be more professional and not be so silly and try and stay out of trouble a little bit.
Or at least be professional where professionalism is due.
Yes. Key. Yeah, that's key. There's time and place for everything. But we've got some good sponsors. L&W Fab. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they are top notch. Polaris stepped on board with us last year.
They've been golden to us.
Super awesome. And Perfection Driveline. We could sit here and go through them all. We've got some really good sponsors, and we really appreciate them, and we try to make sure that they know that.
Right.
Keller Ball Joints. We post on social media, and if you'll go back and look at Keller's socials, a lot of those are reposts of ours.
Yeah.
We work together with them, try to provide them some stuff, and in turn, they're sharing our stuff, which helps us to a bigger platform.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm trying not to rant too much.
Yeah, and even too, like, I know a lot of people are bummed, and I've harped on this in the past because there are so many companies out there. They're like, well, it's not a good enough return on investment for us, but we'll give you 10% discount and, you know, buy our stickers so you can run them on your car. Well, the problem with that is, or kind of the slap in the face to me is when you offer me a 10% racers discount and then you have a 30% Black Friday sale.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why
that's
save up your money and buy whatever you needed for Black Friday and then not have the headache of trying to represent a company that's just going to give you a little bit of cream off the top anyway.
yeah.
But
So we went through that, you know.
yeah, I think a lot of these drivers are just disgusted with that. But my the way I look at stuff like that is, um, just take, okay, for example, like somebody like PRP, like they're very very picky about who they sponsor. Um, but if you're already running their harnesses, you don't have to run their sticker. But if just say you're running their harnesses and you get a cool shot of you in their harnesses, or you take a picture of your buggy, it's all clean, and you got those harnesses sticking out, tag PRP in the post. They may share it. That will help at least get you some followers. If PRP shares your post on their story, a lot of those people will click that story, watch it, and they'll go follow your race page just because you tag PRP in the post. And it doesn't have anything to do with sponsorship, but it helped grows your social media to the point that some more onlookers may see that you're looking for sponsors, and you may make a connection later on down the line just for that one post.
Yeah, and going back to like the 10% deal, this is not a sponsorship is not a one size fits all kind of deal.
Right.
We went through a couple years. The first couple years, or the year I raced, and then on the buggy, on my red buggy there for a while. We took whatever we could get,
Right.
and we'd throw their stickers on there, and but at some point for us, it's like anything else. It's a dollar value versus your time and effort. And so, like, and I'm not throwing these guys under the bus when I say this, but I am going to say this. So DP Brakes was our sponsor last year. So for a sticker on the car, they gave me, I don't know, two full sets of brakes.
Right.
A big whopping, and now a big whopping what, $200. Now to be fair, he didn't ask for anything.
Right.
They didn't ask us to do anything. Just here's some stickers and banners. Do with them what you want. Run them. There was no stipulations, and we felt like, it was our. There's pictures of you on a podium, I think, wearing a DP shirt.
Right.
It was our responsibility to try and take care of them some way, somehow.
Right. Yeah.
So we tried to push them, but
Oh yeah.
and it honestly it worked. I seen the return in my store. Now trying to get that to turn around and show them that, they'll chalk that up to whatever. Oh well,
Right.
you just had a good year. No, like I was selling your stuff on
Right.
purpose. But like the next year, they done the same thing, didn't want to do as much. So we made the decision, hey, for $200, I'll buy my brakes. I'll
Right.
spend that time focusing on, like L&W, Polaris
Right.
Racing. We'll focus more on the guys that really dig in there and help us. So,
Right.
like the 10% off deal, some of these companies give good racer deals, some of them don't. Guys, if you're listening and you're a racer, I will be more than glad to help you because I know you're struggling.
Right.
I know you're having a hard time. I know parts are expensive. Call the shop. Now, listen, I'm not giving you nothing, but I'm not asking for nothing. I will help you.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you guys that are listening to this to be paying full price for stuff. If you don't have a sponsor that can help you out and get you stuff, reach out to me. We'll help you however we can. There was a question brought up a couple years ago, maybe last year, on why Rock Life spent all their sponsorship money on Dan Carter and Dan Carter Racing, and why didn't we help more people? Guys, I'm going to tell you why. Because of what I just said. All the things I just said. There's no representation anywhere else. I've tried sponsoring other people. I get little bitty stickers about this big, no mentions. It ain't worth it. I would rather just help you out with parts when I can for nothing. Because, listen, in the back of my head, I know that you probably have a parts sponsor and they're not helping you and you're having to come to me to get help. It's a guilty little thing, but it kind of makes me feel good sometimes. But like the reason we don't actually sponsor other people is we have our own damn race car.
Yeah.
It's not anything about, Dan does really good for us as far as Rock Life is concerned. He markets well. He works it. He wears the shirts. He does the things. And me and him have become really good friends because of that over the years. And now it doesn't even matter to me, that part of it. I feel like we're close enough friends. I don't care if you race or not. It doesn't matter to me. But we're trying to race. We have our own cars. I don't need to sponsor 15 other people if it's going to take money out of our race cars.
Right.
So we get that question probably once or twice a year, why I don't sponsor more people, and that's why. If I didn't have a race car of my own, maybe. But there's no point in taking away from our program.
Right.
But I'll help anybody that wants help. So,
you can get just about anything, and that's why it's so easy to market for you, is because if I have a idea at 3:00 in the morning, I can call you right then or text you and say, man, this just popped in my head. What do you think about this? And it's always a fire right back. Hey, we'll give it a shot. And I mean, it's like you carry stuff in your store that you've done your research on, and that's only going to sell to just a small handful of people, but you take a risk and you end up selling the shit out of it. And that's why, a lot of people, just when I say, for everybody, they're like, oh, well, he must work for a little Rock Life, or he must own Rock Life, or whatever. I push people towards you because you're willing to stick your neck out for people, and you're willing to get whatever they need just to be genuine and to help them out, and people don't realize that.
Well, as far as the racers are concerned, I kind of feel like I owe the racers a little bit, just in general. I'll be the first one to admit, without the National Rock Racing Association, there's no Rock Life. So I think that's another reason why I harp on sponsorship so much, is because I've seen it. I've lived it. I'm living it.
Right.
My sponsorship of the series started before I was an actual business, before I had an actual shop. The promotion that the series and the drivers in the series gave me has allowed me to have a successful business. And so when we talk about this, I feel like I'm not trying to say I know more than anybody, because I don't. But I've lived it. I've seen it. I know it can work, and I know if you do it right, it will work. Right. And so I want to see more people try to do it. But as far as the drivers go, I feel like, when I say, if you're a racer, call me, I'll help you when I can, wherever I can. It's because of that.
Right.
The racers have helped over the years. We've had guys Stacy Wilhoit, Jamie Coldarn, Travis Skelton, Clint Garrison, Alex Crouch. None of these guys hardly race anymore except Clint. But going old school, those were my guys when I started. They're not here. I can't help them. So I'm willing to continue that through these other people, but the rock racing has gave me so much. I'll help wherever I can to give back to the series, to the drivers. Like I said, I ain't writing nobody no checks or giving no free parts out, but I'll help you where I can. So yeah, if y'all need anything, reach out to us. If you need help looking for sponsors, listen, I'll help you get a sponsor if I can. If you got somebody that you're looking at, you need me to call them, I'll call them. I don't care. I'll do whatever I can for anybody, but we have to make sure that we represent whoever we get the right way.
Right.
That's the big thing. I don't know. I know I went down a rabbit hole. Maybe I got that out of my system for the next 6 months or something. I don't know why. It just hit me when I was at Windrock. I was just looking around and I was like, man, why ain't? Sorry, I got squirrel fire truck going by my house. I got there and I was just noticing that there wasn't any logos on nothing.
Right. Yeah, and it's like you see these guys on the podium there, and it's like, out of all the people, those guys are the ones that should have big names chasing after them.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe it's not some people's, and I don't know. Maybe I look at it differently than some people. Maybe it is just, for me, it's not a hobby.
Right.
It's what I do. There was a post on Facebook the other day. Somebody was looking to get into racing, and I got on there and I offered them, like, hey guys, this is literally what I do for a living.
Right.
I have, for the last 6 or 7 years, I think, I have lived and breathed this stuff every week. And now, no, I'm not racing for a living, but racing has given me a living, and I feel like I've been around it enough to have a pretty good knowledge of it.
Right.
So, I mean, if even if it's that, if you have questions about anything, shoot me a message. We'll help you. We'll help anybody. I don't give a damn. I don't know. But like I said, maybe that's out of my system for a while. As long as we can, I don't know. Whoever wins at Wildcat, you better thank your damn sponsors. That's all I know. Why you let me go on these rants?
Hey, I just you got to get it out of your system, man. And that's, I mean, we do it all the time, and it's frustrating in one sense, but it's like, I hate to say, and it is what it is, but that's the case.
It is what it is. You get that new people come in, and it's just a cycle that starts all over.
Yeah.
But like I said, maybe not everybody, nobody, maybe they don't view it like I do. Maybe it is a hobby for some people and they don't care. All I know is that the more sponsors you get, the easier it is.
That's sure.
So racing is expensive.
Yeah. And we, like you said, we're fortunate to have a lot of good companies to help us out. And about the only thing we need now is maybe like Loves or TA or big truck stop or somebody to put up a fuel card.
Somebody with a damn fuel card. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
or even if
need.
you're boss and you're like, hey man, I just snatched this off his desk. Go have fun for a week. Go out there to California and check stuff out. Put it on up.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Let me go ahead and put a disclaimer. I do not Do not steal your boss's fuel card to give to us. I
No,
mean, out.
that would be horrible. I'd hate for Dan to get in trouble. Anywho, uh, let's move on from this before I get depressed. What anything else been going on? Got the new buggy. Have you worked on the pink buggy at all?
No, I've got a project that's on my table that I promised myself that I would get finished up by Thursday of this week. And once I get that off out of the way, I'm going to be reaching out to a couple of guys do some powder work for me. And then I've got to get the full body. You and I talked about swapping trailer
Yeah,
arms.
I've got to do that.
Uh, it's got the one side is the like I couldn't. A guy asked me about this at Windrock, and he was like, "I've never seen those trailing arms before in my life," and I was like, "You will never see another one like it because that is the very first
Mm.
LNW trailing arm that was ever put out, and it's been tough as all get out. We had one that was slightly bent that's been on there for 6 7 years, so we went ahead and put a newer style on it, and so we basically got to get the two new styles put on there to make that thing look right.
Yeah,
So we'll have that wrapped up hopefully by the end of next week, and then I was hoping to break the pink buggy out for Wildcat, but looking like maybe we may just take it to Hot Springs.
you might as well bring it to Wildcat.
If it's finished, we will, but if not, we'll be we've got a we've got a dance with a podium at Hot Springs this year.
Yeah, you need to go back and defend that race. Then we've got to do a motor swap at some point,
Right.
unless anybody wants to donate us a new Polaris engine. We need one for the new buggy. Um, so let's see. What's on the table?
Um, I wasn't really ready to.
We don't have to.
I,
Is it what I think it is?
yeah.
Is it that close?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. Okay.
I I just have like I got a couple of things I've got to do before I can get it
Before you
off
can
the
move
table.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be. I hope you're documenting that.
Yeah. But in a sense, we are.
You need to. That'll be cool. Um, maybe at this point next year, because I know how you are about procrastinating a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would I would really love to be honest with you. I'd really love to have it finished maybe before RBD.
Well, you're gonna have to get to work.
Yeah. So we've got a few months before that happens.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get to work. Um, all right. Anything happened at Outlaw worth talking about that you've seen talked about?
I've not, and I've never been to that park, and like no relations to the Carters that own that.
Hell, I thought that was yours.
Well, I mean, I wish, but it's a pretty cool place. But I've never been. I've just seen pictures and stuff. It looks like it's like old gravel pit or something. But
Well, it looked like they had a big mud race and everything else too. I guess it was their Carter's Fest.
yeah,
Um, looked like a good time. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the heel selection, but I guess that's what they got, and they made the
right.
best of it. Um, Timmy Cameron.
I saw some footage of him this past weekend, and he's got that new buggy dialed in.
So, listen, I'm going to ask a question. So, Brandon won the Bouncer NRA championship last year.
Right.
Do you think that he ever thinks that he didn't really win it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because until you outrun Timmy, have you? Have you really? I mean, I know you beat who was there, right? And I'm not knocking Brandon. Brandon's great. I like him, and I'm not downing him at all. But you gotta wonder if he's ever had that feeling. Like, yes, it was cool. Yes, I won. Yeah, I got the trophy. But Timmy
Yeah,
wasn't there.
I I could see Brandon thinking that. He's a great guy. He's a wheel man for sure. But I feel like one day, and I feel like we'll see it sooner or later.
Well, I just want to see anybody,
Yeah,
anybody catch him. I don't know. Wade gave it a good run.
yeah,
Um, whatever. I guess it was 22. Whatever last year was he raced. He gave it a good run, and I think Wade beat him. What, six out of the 10 races.
hmm,
Timmy still won the championship.
yeah,
I want to see him pushed again like that.
right,
But I don't know who. I don't know who's going to do it. He's tough. He's fast.
yeah,
And if he
yeah,
drives like he did at Outlaw the rest of the year, there ain't nobody catching him.
yeah. I'm just curious to, he's there's just been like a handful of times that I know of, and it's not even a handful. I'm thinking it's maybe twice that he's kept the buggy at the end of the season.
He better hang on to this one.
And
And I know we say that every year.
I'm betting you. I bet you he's going to keep this buggy for next season also.
He better, because this thing is bad and it is
Yeah,
fast. And I just, I don't know. I mean, he run Tyrant for what, 2 years, two, maybe three. Did he run three? Maybe two. I don't know. He ran it for a couple years, I think. Unfinished Business he ran for a couple years, I think. But outside of that, I mean, he was going through them pretty regularly.
right.
He better hold on to this damn thing. I've never seen such in all my life. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know who's going to catch him, if anybody can catch him. I don't know if anybody can even. I don't know. He's going to have a mishap at some point for anybody to stand a chance.
Yeah,
This dude's so good. We've got to get Timmy on here. Ooh, we may work on that.
yeah. I think you probably get your people to call his people.
We'll probably have to submit a request. He's pretty famous and all, but we'll see. All right, I guess that's enough rambling for this week. We're going to get into the rundown for the Outlaw race at Carter's Off-Road Park in just a minute. All right, guys, we're going to do the rundown for the Outlaw Off-Road Racing Series from Carter's Off-Road Park this past weekend. Dan, where are we going to start at?
Let's shoot for the UTV youth class.
UTV Youth Class, Caden King was your winner. Dallas Heckley in second, and Blake Heckley rounded out the top three.
Oh yeah. What about the old Pro-Am class?
Pro-Am class, Ross Curry was your winner. Cody McDaniel in second, and T. Croft in third.
Sweet. What about those UTV?
UTV, last year's champion Clay Kaysen took the win, and I think could be the fastest man on the planet right now. Dylan Dowler was in second place, and Cooper Bentley rounded out the top three.
Good job, guys. Now, last but not least, bouncer class.
An all TC built podium for the first time ever. Timmy Cameron was your winner in, what's it called, 100 shot? In 100 shot. Brandon Davis, second place in Menace, and Daniel Heckley in Hellbent. All TC buggies, First time ever.
I was just fixing to ask. That is the first time I've ever heard of a TC built podium sweep.
First time ever. Timmy Cameron built all them. Guys, next Outlaw race, Good Evening Ranch, April 6th. We will be at Wildcat with the National Rock Racing Association before that on March the 29th and 30th. Make plans. Get your reservations. Make sure to come to Wildcat. Guys, we'll be back next week with another episode of Out the Top. Daniel.
I appreciate everybody listening.
Hey, guys, like, subscribe, share, do all those things. Thank you. Bye.
We'll see you.